Hi, I'm Susan, and welcome to Being Mindful. I've done some meditations around physical pain and how we can use mindfulness to change our relationship to pain and maybe not be suffering so much from it. In today's meditation, we use some similar strategies to look at physical tension. So in my meditation that I was leading, one of the participants said that they had been noticing all week that their shoulders were sort of tense and scrunched up, and they kept having to relax them. And with relaxation, one of the main strategies that people recommend is progressive muscle relaxation, where you actually over tighten, exaggerate the tension, which then sort of helps you to learn to relax that part of the body. She said specifically she did not want to do that. She wanted to be able to relax, experience relaxation without having to make it worse. And so in this meditation, we do sort of two aspects to look at how we can maybe begin to experience some relaxation when we notice areas of tension. So let's get started. Let's get started by doing our normal settling into position, finding a posture that allows you to be aware and intentional, not overly rigid and not overly relaxed. You can close your eyes if that is comfortable. It can help reduce the external stimulation and help us to come inside ourselves. And we can begin by just becoming present, acknowledging that life happens around us and we are sandwiched in this moment by what has already happened and what has yet to happen in our lives. And we can invite our minds to do that remembering and planning in the background while the observer part of ourselves is intentionally looking at what's happening in the present moment. We can begin to notice the support of the chair, the ground, whatever we are sitting or lying on. We can notice the sensations of contact with that surface. And I invite you to gently turn your attention to your breath, to the breathing that was happening from the start, but that we weren't necessarily paying attention to. And not only noticing that the breath is happening, but mindfully noticing the sensation of breath as it comes into the body, is exchanged in the lungs, and is exhaled. Noticing how the breath moves and how the body moves in response to the breath. And from this centered place, I invite you to do a scan of the body and see if you can locate any areas of the body where you happen to be holding tension, where the muscles are constricted in some way. For some people, they hold tension in their jaw. So their teeth are clenched and their jaw is tight. For some, there may be some sort of tension in the neck or the shoulders. You might notice what your hands are doing. You may also be holding tension in the abdomen or even in the pelvis. Perhaps the extremities. So just noticing where in the body tension feels the most prominent. And we're not yet doing anything with it. Let's begin by just exploring it with curiosity. In mindfulness meditation, we have an intentional focus on what's happening in the present moment without judgment. And so we're not scanning and looking for tension so that we can make it go away at this moment. We're looking for it so that we can notice that it's there and explore what it feels like just as it is, not trying to fix it yet. So as you explore this sensation of tension, you might notice exactly how it feels. Is there pain associated with it? Are you holding this part of the body differently than you would otherwise? Is there any temperature associated with it? How big is it? Like, how much of your body does this tension actually occupy? As you observe it, does it change in any way? What is your mind saying about this tension? What's happening with your thoughts as you focus on the physical sensation of tension? And now I invite you to scan your body again and find a spot where you're not experiencing any tension at all. Maybe it's some facial feature that is sort of at a state of neutrality. Maybe there's part of the arm or the leg that isn't tightened up at this moment. Maybe the hands are completely relaxed. So allow your attention to rest on this part of the body that is experiencing no tension at all. Notice the sensations here as well. And notice what the mind has to say about this lack of tension. And now I invite you to shift your focus back to the part of the body that was feeling tension before and see how it feels now. What can you notice? Has it become more tense or less or about the same? How much physical space does it occupy now? What's happening with your thoughts as you revisit this area that was holding tension and may still be? We don't have to struggle with the tension that we feel. We don't have to wish it would go away. We can allow it to be as it is. And if it's possible, to soften the area, to breathe into it and make space with it, to allow a heaviness, a dropping, a letting go. As this meditation approaches its end, whatever areas you are focusing on, I invite you to move them. Shift and adjust in whatever way would help ease some of that tension. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. If your eyes have been closed, you can open them. And come back to the visual sense of the space that you occupy. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'm so curious to hear in the comments what you experienced in that. For a lot of people, when we go from focusing on a particular area to focusing on an area that is not experiencing tension or pain, it can actually reduce tension and pain in the first area. Maybe it's a sense of distraction, or maybe it's sort of when we begin to notice a place that does feel relaxed, we can actually experience a full body relaxation in a way, indirectly. And for other people, it makes no difference at all. So I'm curious to hear what you noticed. If you're not already subscribed, I hope that you'll do that. Maybe click the notification bell so you know when there's something new to see. A like is a great compliment. A comment affirms me and maybe helps you process your own experience in helpful ways. And have a wonderful day.